Shalom, I'm Noah Price, your Christian gamer, and honestly, Yu-Gi-Oh has been an interesting part of my life. It's not one that I really have taken part in as much as recently. I got to see the anime ever so often, but I never really followed it. I enjoyed it and thought it was fun, but I never really got into it. Sadly, there was nobody by me who really played card games, so again, the closest I ever did to playing card games was collecting Pokemon cards, but I never got to play Yu-Gi-Oh! My experience with Yu-Gi-Oh! Was limited. Until just recently, I decided to step my toes into Yu-Gi-Oh! And try it out. Honestly, the modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! Kicked my butt and I was good. I was good. But then, a few years later, today, just recently, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been jumping into Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and I'm posed with the same question of should Christians play this game? If you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a lot of pros to playing it. The card game down to its core is fun. It has fun elements, and it's a fun 1v1 kind of gameplay experience. But probably the biggest pro to playing Yu-Gi-Oh is honestly the anime experience, because out of the big three of Pokemon, Magic Gathering, and Yu-Gi-Oh, this is the only one that actually has an anime that supports the series. So like technically yes, Pokemon has an anime series, but that's for the actual Pokemon game, not the card game. And so actually having a game that's connected with the card game, you have that iconic experience of when you're playing, you're like, I draw, and that kind of role play experience just bumps up the experience up to 11. Like, it's such a good feeling, especially with friends. When you're playing with other people and you're having this anime experience, it's a good time. It's so enjoyable, and it's a massive pro to playing this game, to be honest. Another pro I should say is the art style is actually really nice. The game does have a lot of fun like card aesthetics, so it's kind of weird. It has like a dual dichotomy when it comes to its art style. It's either really cute or it's weird, epic, edgy kind of card design. I don't know. It's weird that these are the two things that it shares. But there's a lot of cons to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a lot of problems with Yu-Gi-Oh! As a card game. Talking about our edgy style, it kind of coincides with the theme and the aesthetic and the style, and the point of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is its aesthetics is very edgy in tone. A big part of it, and especially starting with its original design and its original manga, it's about possession, it's about Egyptian gods, and the shadow games. And so compared to other card games I've seen, like me through playing some Magic Gathering, specifically through Commander, through playing those kind of card games, sure, there's certain kind of key words like sacrifice. But when you think about sacrifice, it doesn't necessarily have to be ritualistic. It doesn't have to be a pagan gods. It could be giving up your life somewhere for someone else. In Yu-Gi-Oh, the word sacrifice is definitely within the context of ritualistic kind of idea of we're gonna give up our bodies to summon in this god. And the idea of Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of parts is it's all about this old shadow game that Egyptians used to play, where they would take possession of spirits, demons, etc., and control them. That's a bit of a red flag. I've seen many Christians complain about different games because of this aspect. They complain about Pokemon because they say that's what you're doing, is you're trying to control demons. And this game's just right up front with like, yeah, that's part of like the idea, the aesthetic of it. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, that could be a problem for a lot of people. And honestly, while I've been enjoying this game and playing it and like kind of learning it, that has been something I saw. I was like, oh yeah, that doesn't really make me want to play the game. I'm going to be honest. The other con that you have if you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh is honestly, as I can mention, I tried Master Duel when it came out. The Yu-Gi-Oh client, that's probably the most easiest to access Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays, has been a good free-to-play experience to try to learn it, but there's a con, and the fact is modern Yu-Gi-Oh. Modern Yu-Gi-Oh is filled with this idea of a massive negates effect to where you try to play it on anything, it gets countered, you don't get to play it. That doesn't feel good. I'm not gonna lie, it's not feel good, but that's like part of the meta. And the other part is Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays is very heavy on, hey, you play everything on turn one. They're very long turns of you waiting for your opponent to get done, and then when they're done, it's just one turn. Either you did it all in one turn correctly and you win, or you don't. And that's very much modern day Yu-Gi-Oh, at least from what I've seen and from what I've experienced. And that's not what a lot of people like. Everybody likes the old school idea of Yu-Gi-Oh and the old kind of slower feel, but that is modern day Yu-Gi-Oh. And the last problem that I've seen with Yu-Gi-Oh is it's just with any kind of card game you play, they tend to have this problem. It has to do with power creep and spending money, because there's some kind of aspect of this is, yes, pay to win, because you need to buy cards, because it's a weird aesthetic of like you need to buy your own cards to actually have cards to play with, and if you don't have the really broken card, you're out of luck. Your other opponent could have that. And so there's aspects of pay to win with any kind of card game. Again, I've been playing through Master Duel online, and I've been doing a free-to-play experience, and with looking at guides of how to start off with actually spending your gems, your currency that you're given early on, I've been able to have a good experience. So if you really do want to try it out, you could go try it out there as a free-to-play user. Maybe you'll be fine. I've been okay, but that is a possible problem if you actually want to get into the game. It's still a card game. Card games have this flaw, so just be aware. As always, it's always up to you and God to decide whether you should play Yu-Gi-Oh or not. I can't make that decision for you. Where I'm at right now is personally, I'm going to keep trying Yu-Gi-Oh. I've been streaming it over on my other channel, Here Scrub, where I actually play through games. Again, this channel is more of a following through journeys of my experience through stuff. I am still playing it, but I have a caveat. I have an end goal of I'm just doing the tutorial at this point, and once I'm done with the tutorial, I'm probably going to be done. And I honestly am leaning more on I'm good on Yu-Gi-Oh. There's plenty of other games I could spend my time on. Honestly, Yu-Gi-Oh isn't one. While it's fun to have the anime experience with friends, I don't need to play this game at all. Let me know what you think about these reviews. I kind of want to put them out because, again, the main point of this channel is following through my experience through journey, through games, and sharing that experience and see what we learned through them. But those take a long time, and so in between them, maybe once a week, if I don't have one of those videos prepared, if I'm still working on that, maybe I can provide one of these videos of something that I'm playing and I can share it. It's low edited just so that I can get it out and still work on the other videos. I hope you guys can still enjoy it and hear my thoughts, and we can have a fun conversation about this. All right. Jesus loves you. I love you guys. Shalom.